Hi there, welcome back to my channel. This is Medeaij, and in today's video we're going to be going through my March perfume tray. So I'm going to be going through all the fragrances that I wore in the month of March. I'm going to give you my reviews, like quick fire reviews, first impression. We're going to talk about it basically. First impression reviews, all of that good stuff. So we're gonna do this pretty quickly so that in the next video I can select my April perfume tray. Now if you're new to this type of video, I started doing this religiously this year. It's something I did sporadically over the course of last year and the year before. It just gives me the opportunity to really get to know my fragrances a little bit better and to really pay attention and enjoy them even more. So if that sounds interesting to you, if you're interested in hearing more about the fragrances that I wore in March, then definitely keep on watching. Okay, so in no particular order, I'm just gonna select and go. And the first fragrance we're going to talk about is this one from Fragrance World. Now, this wasn't actually one of the fragrances that I selected initially. So if you haven't seen my selection for my March perfume tray, I will link it for you to go watch. But this was one of the fragrances that I've recently hauled, and it's a fragrance that I received from Fragrance World called Signature. This was sent in PR, and I've thoroughly been enjoying it. You can see where the dent of this fragrance is. I've already reviewed this fragrance. There's a review on my YouTube shorts, also on my Instagram if you're interested in hearing more about it. But the long and short story is that I absolutely love this fragrance, and it's something that I've been wearing religiously. It's one of those fragrances that works well in all occasions. So I've worn it to work, I've worn it out on dates, I've worn it just chilling in the house. Like, it translates really, really well. The performance of this as well is insanely good. Aside from how beautiful the fragrance smells and looks, just as like a compliment grabber, people are gonna ask you what you're wearing and you're going to enjoy smelling yourself throughout the course of the day. I absolutely recommend that you get your nose on this one from Fragrance World. It's a wonderful scent, great packaging, very luxurious looking, and one that I probably will want to have in my collection once this one is done. Like, literally, I've worn this so much, and it's not even a month old. And it's just, yeah, it's been performing really well for me. Next up is Nishane Zenne. So Nishane Zenne is like one of my go-to springtime fragrances just because it is quite tart, but it's still sweet. You know, it's tart, but it's still a little bit sweet. The rhubarb in this fragrance, coupled with the blackcurrant, coupled with the grapefruit that gives it its tartness, is very, very mouth-watering, very delicious, very springtime, summertime ready. It then has a gorgeous vanilla base. In the middle, there are notes such as rose, there's sandalwood. So it has a really nice transition throughout the day. But because I love citrus, tart types of fragrances, plus the rhubarb in this, the way it's done is still sweet. It's not a sickly sweet scent that rhubarb sometimes gives me. This one was done really, really well. And with that creamy dry down, amazing. Performance of this as well is incredible. This is a fragrance I would absolutely pick up in 100 ml once this is done. Though it is expensive, it's just one of those fragrances that I feel like the money is worth. It's worth it. It smells so good. The performance is insanely good. This was another one that I got loads of questions, loads of comments from people wanting to know what I was wearing. Another one from Fragrance World that sort of made its way into my collection. Again, not a fragrance that I picked to add to the tray, but because I was reviewing it, it somehow made its way to my collection for the month. So this is Cream of Clouds from Fragrance World. This is another lactonic, brown sugar, vanilla, coconut milk type of scent. Again, I do have a full review of this on my YouTube shorts and equally on my Instagram if you're interested in hearing a little bit more about the details. But to give you a summary, it's like your quintessential lactonic fragrance. Like if I was to describe this in terms of fragrances, I would say layer vanilla 28 with Bianco latte-ish, and you might get something like it. The only disappointing thing for me, which I did say in my review, was that I didn't get much of the essence of the coconut milk. Like I didn't get the tropical essence of it. It did just smelled like burnt sugar, vanilla type of mix, which I'm not mad at, but because I was expecting it to have like that tropical essence to it, I felt like I was missing out. Plus, the performance on this is not the best. I do wear it to bed now, which is absolutely fine, because it's cozy enough to put me to bed, and in the morning I can barely smell it on myself, like literally barely, and I practically soak myself in this fragrance. So aside from that, it is a comforting scent. It's probably one of those scents I would wear only when I'm chilling indoors. You know, I'm not really going out or looking for a high performing type of fragrance. But for what it's worth, for the cost of it, I do still think it is good value in that it gives you the essence, which is kind of like that cozy, comforting scent. So yeah, I have enjoyed wearing this one this month. One that I've absolutely fully enjoyed wearing, and look at the dent, and I probably will repurchase if I do run out. First of all, I don't have any coffee scents like this. This is from the coffee collection for Fragrance World, and this one is called Double Espresso, and the collection is quite vast. So if you haven't seen my unboxing of this from Fragrance World, definitely check my YouTube channel. This was another fragrance that they sent my way, including Cream of Clouds, and I wore this throughout the month of March in order to test it out, see how I'm feeling. And every single time I wore this fragrance, I was left wanting more. Literally made my mouth water. This is like your creamy coffee goodness, and it has such a beautiful long lasting dry down. I thoroughly enjoyed wearing this when the weather was dropping and it was cold and I wanted something comforting, something familiar, something borderline bitter but sweet. This is like your creamy sweetness. It smells exactly like a creamy cup of coffee, and I love fragrances like that. Like I said, I don't have anything like it in my collection, so it is quite unique for me, and I've been enjoying wearing this one, and I have been getting loads of compliments wearing her. I've worn her out in the elements, I've worn her at home. Either way, I recommend this fragrance. I absolutely love it. You could tell from the dent that she has been loved, and it's one that I will forever want to have as part of my cooler month type of collection fragrance. Another one I've been wearing this month that has just brought the performance to the forefront is Le Prestige Royale by Cadlage Perfumes. This is supposed to be a dupe for the Maison Crevelli Hibiscus Mahajad, and I want to say I have Hibiscus Mahajad, and I actually don't really like wearing that fragrance because it is too strong. It just smells like borderline petrol on me. For some reason, it just smells like petrol, like kerosene when I spray it. But this one gives me what I think that fragrance was trying to translate. Like, you still get a woody cake. It's still quite a strong, leathery fragrance, but it's done really well. It's warm, it's woody, you get Turkish rose, it's spicy. Literally, you get everything that you get from Hibiscus Mahajad, only that it's a little bit sweeter and a little bit more refined and better blended. So I personally enjoy wearing this one. This is another beast mode type of fragrance. I got loads of questions and compliments, and I've made it a point now that when I'm wearing a fragrance, if it's something that I know is not easy for people to find or easy for me to say, I just take a picture of it so that when people ask me what you're wearing, I just show them. Because there's no point in me saying Le Prestige Royale from Cadlage Perfumes. They'll go Cadlage. Who's Cadlage? Because really, mainstream, people don't really know these fragrance houses. But when I take a picture of it, they can drop that picture in Amazon or on Google and it recommends the fragrance, or rather where to get it. So that might be a top tip for you if you're the perfume person in your circle and you get questions on what you're wearing. Just take a picture of it and send it to the person. But yeah, anyway, this is such a beast mode. Great performance, great projection. They will smell you down the road, and it definitely turned heads. Be careful where you wear this one too. I would say you definitely don't want to wear it in any enclosed spaces, or you don't want to wear it where there isn't a lot of room for you, so like in an office space, that type of thing, because it is very, very powerful, very beast mode. So but aside from that, you don't need a lot, and I have been enjoying this one. Super inexpensive. I purchased mine from Notino ages ago, so I will link these fragrances in the description box below for you to check out. So definitely check that if you are on the hunt for this fragrance. One that I'm very, very sad to see go. It's almost done and I'm so, so sad. And this is Maison Mataha Escapade Gourmande. Now, I do have a dupe from Made Exclusive, which I plan to wear once this is done. But nonetheless, this is probably going to be my first finished bottle this 2025. And I'm very, very sad. It's one of the fragrances that I've always loved. It's never failed to get me compliments. It's such a lovely fragrance. I adore it. It smells really comforting, really, really nice. It's probably a fragrance that I would consider repurchasing at some point. I know I said if I have the dupe, I probably wouldn't purchase it, but there's just something about having this bottle. Plus, they've been extending the line of their fragrances, so I am quite interested in trying the fragrance line. I do have some samples that I need to test out, but this one will be missed, and I've just got a little bit left. So yeah, I did use it quite a lot. I used it work from home, to bed, and all of that good stuff. And of course, I pulled out Grand Soir this month. Like I said, it was sort of coming towards the end of the month, end of the cold season, end of the cold snap, if you like. So I really wanted fragrances that would embody warmth, amber, woody, and vanilla. It's such a beautiful, well-balanced fragrance. I love this. You get the warmth, you get the creaminess, you get a bit of powderiness, you get the sweetness. This is probably my favorite one out of the MFK line, because of just how easy to wear it is. It's probably one that I would repurchase because, again, it always gets me compliments, and the performance on this is really, really nice. Such a lovely fragrance. Now, I also wore, this is one from Made Exclusive, and this is inspired by Lyra. This is number 42. Now, I wore this one a few times, and because I really wanted to test it out. I really wanted to see how it wore. And yes, you immediately get the Lyra essence. You get it for a couple of hours. But unfortunately, this baby doesn't last on me. It's a lovely fragrance, don't get me wrong. If you're looking for that Lyra but more affordable, definitely want to check out. I just wish that the performance was a little bit better, a little bit longer lasting. Lyra on me lasts a really long time. This one, if I overspray and I'm lucky, I probably get about 3 to 4 hours, which is not great. I was hoping to get a little bit more from it. So That's the only slightly disappointing thing. But like I said, if you don't mind carrying this bottle around or decanting it and respraying, it's definitely a fraction of the cost that you get for Lyra. And it smells exactly like Lyra. I just wish the performance was good. I also added the YSL Flowers and Flames from the Libre lib line, if you like, and this is a white floral fragrance with a beautiful vanilla. It's got the lavender, which is the DNA for lib, and it's quite a green type of floral type of fragrance. So you do get the DNA from the lib line. I don't get much of the coconuts, to be honest, but other than that, it's citrusy, it's fresh, it's soapy, it smells really, really nice. I really like the smell of this fragrance, and you could tell from the dent that I actually do like the way this fragrance smells. But you see, what lets me down is the performance of this fragrance. Now, if you know the lib line, this fragrance is not cheap. This fragrance is not cheap, and for it to not last at all, I'm talking after 4 hours I forgot that I'd sprayed a fragrance. I was questioning myself if I'd worn fragrance that day, because I could not smell even the DNA. And you guys know that the lib line, the DNA is super strong. This one, when you spray it, you get the lavender, you get the citrus, it's beautiful, everything is Gucci, but then give it a couple of hours and poof, it's gone. I'm like, what is going on? So I was really disappointed about the performance of this. I haven't actually, like I said when I picked it, I haven't actually paid too much attention. I like the DNA of the lib line, so I've just been collecting them, thinking, right, I love the DNA, it's gonna be great. The lib line the performance is insane, it's gonna be lovely. But this one, the performance is shocking. Like, if you have a different experience to this fragrance, I would really love to hear. Now, I'm an oversprayer of my fragrance, so yes, I oversprayed my scent, and still, I couldn't even smell it in my clothes. Like, it literally, after 3 to 4 hours, I was questioning my own sanity. On the flip side, something nice and affordable is the Florentina Marks & Spencer's fragrance. This is my quintessential. I'm looking for a white floral fragrance. I reach for her. She doesn't disappoint. The performance is insane. I get questions. I get compliments. People want to know what I'm wearing. Even till now, she's an eau de toilette, but performs like an intense fragrance. The performance is insane, the central is insane, and the longevity is insane. I absolutely love this fragrance, and it's one that I will forever. This is probably the longest standing fragrance, not this actual bottle, because I've repurchased it a lot of times, but like the longest standing type of fragrance in my collection. I always purchase this fragrance, so this one was definitely a hit. It's always a hit. It's always a hit, and I wear it a lot in the warmer months. Okay, one that actually really disappointed me, and I sort of knew it was gonna disappoint me, but I wanted to try it. I wanted to wear it and really try it out myself. This is Minia Coco Lush from Paris Corner. Now, most people know the green bottle, but I couldn't get my hands on a green one, so I purchased this to see what this one would smell like. And in this one, you get coconut milk, you know, there's raspberry, there's pear, there's jasmine, there's freesia, there's ambroxan, there's musk. Like, there's some really pretty, creamy, you know, tropical-esque type of notes, but it smells lovely when you spray it. But honestly, this is such a forgettable fragrance. I spray it and I'm just like, and what? It doesn't really do much for me. It's just, to me, it's just a lactonic, creamy fragrance with a sweet, juicy in between. Like, it's not any different from the types of fragrances that I have in my collection. For me, it's quite boring. The bottle as well is not exciting. It's boring. It's chunky. I'm gonna declutter this one. She's okay-ish if you're looking for just something lactonic, sweet, mindless type of fragrance, then absolutely. If you're looking for a bedtime scent, then absolutely. But I have so many bedtime, creamy, sweet type of fragrances that I'm just literally bored with this one. So this one's going to leave my collection. Having worn this one from Boho Boko, this is Wet Cherry Liquor. I forgot how sticky, sweet, tart this fragrance is. I absolutely adore this scent. This is definitely not for everyone. You have to like a boozy cherry type of fragrance. It's quite jammy, it's quite sweet. Some people will say it smells like cough syrup, whatever. Cherry normally gives us that type of smell, but because there's liquor in this, you just get that booziness. Plus there's caramel, there's strawberry, so you get that jamminess, that sweetness. I enjoy wearing this fragrance. Plus the performance on this one is really, really good. I know this was all the craze when it came out and people have just sort of kept quiet about it. I'm here to tell you that if you like cherry fragrances and you're looking for a different type of cherry, then you're gonna want to check out this one. It has a layer of rose in it. It has tonka beans. There's some powderiness. It's a little bit creamy in the dry down. It's woody. It's obviously boozy. It's sweet. It's jammy. I love this fragrance, and yeah, I've enjoyed wearing this one. Now, I said it when I was unboxing this as part of my perfume haul. I received this one from Valentino, and I said it and I'll say it again, and I'm sure the Dent can tell you, this is probably my favorite Born in Roma scent from Valentino. And I think it's because of the rum. The rum in this just sets everything off. And again, the performance on this one, I've spent some time wearing it and I've worn it out to work. I've worn it out to dinner. I've worn it just out about running errands. And this fragrance has an intense sillage. I got a lot of compliments and questions from people, as people could guess the DNA. They just were not sure which of the Donna Born in Romas I was wearing, which I thought was quite interesting because most people, when they smell me, they're not sure what it is. But for this one, I was getting like the questions of, oh, which one of the Born in Romas are you wearing? Because the DNA of Born in Roma is present in this fragrance. I just feel like it's a little bit more elevated with the rum, plus the performance on this just knocks it out of the park. I enjoy wearing this fragrance, and I'm here to tell you, if you're not sure about this scent, definitely go try it in store. You want to get your nose on it. I absolutely adore it. I know some people don't like it. I know some people prefer the intense. Personally, I have the intense, and it's my least favorite of them all. Out of all the ones that I've tried, if I was to rank it, I probably would say Coral is my favorite, then the green one, then sorry, if I was to rank it, obviously this one is my first, then Coral, then the green one, then Born in Roma itself, then probably the intense. Those are the fragrances I've got my nose on. I definitely want to get the green one very soon. I haven't tried the full pink one, but this one is definitely number one, and then Coral is number two for me. I love this fragrance, and yeah, I'm very happy to have it in my collection, that's for sure. This was another one that actually surprised me. I've had this fragrance for a long time in my collection, and when I purchased it, I had a little sample at the time and I fell in love. It was love at first sniff. I fell in love with it, but then I actually just bought it and then I did nothing with it. So this is Rosendo Mateu number 5, and it's a floral amber sensual musk type of fragrance. It's very sexy, it's very warm, it's alluring, it's gorgeous, warm vanilla. Performance on this is insane. It's slightly spicy. It's just a fantastic cold weather type of fragrance. I shared on my Instagram some fragrances that I would layer with this one because I was blown away so much that I was just layering her with so many fragrances. So like I said, if you're not following me on Instagram, definitely do. This fragrance is stunning. It's a lovely scent, and I'm so happy that I have it. I wore it in the evenings. I wore it to work. Again, this is another one I wear out and about. The performance on this is really, really good as well. Great value for money. So I enjoyed that one. Right, so I have a Miss Armaf to talk about. This one's called Voce Viva. So if you haven't seen my unboxing, I purchased a bunch of these Miss Armaf fragrances from Notino, and I've been enjoying them. This one is a beautiful, powdery, sweet, white floral fragrance. Great musky scent. It's fruity, it's delicious, it's everything. It has a lot of notes. You've got tropical notes, like there's passion fruit, there's peach, there's orange blossom, there's also tuberose, there's praline, there's amber, there's rose. It just goes on and on. Now, with all the notes that this fragrance comes with, it reminds me of a bunch of fragrances. I'm talking about Chanel, Mademoiselle fragrance, Coco Mademoiselle fragrance, J'adore, La Vie Belle. Like, it just reminds me of a medley of all of those fragrances, which I am not mad at, because those are fragrances that I love. They are iconic. They are stunning, feminine fragrances. This fragrance screams luxury. You know, it just screams that DNA of fragrances, and j'adore it, literally. It has a beautiful central. I literally spray myself, douse my clothes, and it performs really, really well. I give it up to 6 hours. And the central as well is about an arm's length. It's not one of those serious fragrances. It's quite an affordable fragrance. But honestly, if you're looking for a sweet white floral fragrance, it's going to make you smell very feminine, very attractive, very alluring, and you don't want to think too much about your selection, get your nose on Voce Viva. This is like, I mean, I would add a sprinkle of Valentino Voce Viva Intensa, I would even say, onto this as well. Like, that is the type of fragrance family that you are associating this one with. And I enjoyed wearing that one. That is definitely a keeper. One that I didn't even wear at all, so I'm not going to talk too much about it, is the Kaltat Al Arabia Royal Blends from Latafa. I didn't wear this one single time. Literally did not. So we're going to put that one back. However, the one that I wore and really enjoyed was Dear Jasmine by Maison Asrar. This is another fruity white floral type of fragrance. It has a gorgeous tuberose note. It's slightly powdery. It's a bit musky. You've got some vanilla in it as well. It's a gorgeous spring summertime fragrance. It has beautiful rose notes to it as well, and I really, really do like this one. It's understated. I don't feel like a lot of people talk about it. It's very pretty. It's very elegant. Performance is not bad on it as well, and I think it's great value for money. Like, this is quite a strong performing fragrance for spring summer type of scent, and it's memorable. It gives you that kind of old school floral-esque type of scent. It's not old, like, in terms of, I don't know how people age fragrances, but it just smells very iconic, and I enjoy wearing this one. This was another one that was very, very pretty, and I got loads of compliments wearing it. So I feel like that's a whistle-stop shop of all of the fragrances that I wore in the month of March. The ones that immediately stood out for me, 10 out of 10, I would say Double Espresso from Fragrance World, which again I received in PR, because I'm going to speak on this really quickly. Some of you do get really, really annoyed when people don't mention if they got stuff in PR. Now listen, I post on my videos, I post in my description box. I'm very transparent with you guys. I'm very appreciative to the brands that send me fragrances. The ones that send me fragrances, 9 out of 10 times, there is no obligation whatsoever for me to post anything. If it's a fully sponsored video, I mention that it's fully sponsored, aka they're paying me to bring it to my platform. But no brand on this earth pays for my review in terms of my opinion. My opinion is my opinion. At the end of the day, it's my nose, it's my body that I'm spraying these fragrances on, and I don't have to come on here to share my thoughts. I started my YouTube channel to share my passion, my love, out of frustration because I wasn't getting a lot of information and stuff from the creators back in the day when I started. So I started my channel for that. And I always remember why I started my channel. Like I said, nobody can pay for my opinion and buy my opinion. So I always get offended when people question my thoughts on something. It's my personal experience, and I'm sharing my personal experience. My personal experience might not be the same as yours, but it doesn't discount my experience. Neither does it discount yours. So I do apologize if some of you do feel like I hide if something was sent to me. If you follow me on Instagram, you know fully well I post it on there. I always say it. But like I said, I'm very open with what I get and what I share on this channel. So if a brand sent it to me, absolutely, I tell you, I will reinforce it, and I don't have a problem. I'm not secretive. At the end of the day, if you guys want to buy something, you buy it because you want to buy it. There's nobody that can influence you to buy something. What people can do is point you in the right direction and recommend something, but nobody can dip their hand in your pocket and force you to buy something. So I really hate it when people say, oh yeah, you influenced me and I was deceived. Nobody can deceive you, honey. Like, if you don't believe in somebody's review, then you can go on Google, you can buy a sample. And I always tell you guys to get your nose on it, like sample it. I'm not telling you to go and buy it. I'm telling you to go and try it out and see how you feel. Anyway, I feel like I've ranted like for 2 minutes now, so I do apologize. But I get really pained because you guys don't know how long it takes to record these things and juggle life, especially when I'm not even getting paid for it. It's really frustrating that I still get accused in as much as I don't even get paid. And even if I was getting paid, then you should be happy for me, because at the end of the day, we're all out here spending extra time that we could be spending with our family, sharing our passion online. So I feel like a level of respect should come with that. But anyway, I digress, and I apologize for digressing. But like I said, this is a standout fragrance that was sent to me by Fragrance World, and I'm very appreciative. I absolutely love it. It's something that I would repurchase and probably will repurchase if it ever runs out. Another standout, which I have had this one for a long time and I bought this one myself, is Le Prestige Royale by Cadlaz. Like I said, it's a dupe for Hibiscus Mahajad, but I prefer it to Hibiscus, so that one performs really well for me. Florentina, as you guys know, is an OG. I love her. She stands out every time. I don't even need to talk about her. Nishane Zenne as well. If you've been following me on socials, you know that this one comes out every spring, summer. It's another one. Great performance. Hefty price tag, but I feel like it's worth it. And of course, I absolutely adore the Valentino Extradose, which was sent to me by Valentino. But out of all of the Valentino fragrances, it's probably my favorite one. And the one that surprised me, definitely, was Rosendo Mateu. Now, I knew and I loved this fragrance, but I just didn't know how much I would love it. Obviously, the fragrances that disappointed me the most, it's probably the YSL one because of the price tag. And I bought this when it first came out, so I purchased more than I would have, though I bought it in duty free, so I slightly got it at a discount. That was pretty disappointing for me. This one, I sort of knew was going to disappoint me, but still pretty disappointing. I would probably say those are my main disappointing fragrances. I wish the performance on this was a little bit better, which again, this was gifted to me by Made Exclusive, but I wish the performance was a little stronger. And of course, the one from Fragrance World, which was also gifted to me, is a fantastic fragrance. Like when you get your nose on this, you will understand. This is gonna split hairs. You're either gonna love it or hate it, but if you're in the love camp, you're gonna absolutely love her. And then I just chucked this one in here. I didn't actually wear it, but this is a spray from Rituals, but it was just there chilling. Anyway, these are the fragrances that I wore in the month of March. Let me know what you think about this fragrance tray. Let me know if there are any fragrances that stand out to you. I really enjoyed this tray. This is my goodbye to the cooler months. The weather is still quite ropey here in the UK, but I think I can start sneaking in some of my more springtime fragrances with a few, you know, a few cozy ones just to balance things out. But yeah, let me know if you think this was a successful perfume tray for the month. And let me know if you've tried any of these fragrances, or if you had a different experience to any of these fragrances. Please share it in the comment section below. All these fragrances will be linked in the description box. There will be affiliate links where possible, which means I make a slight commission if you use the links. It's a way to help my channel. It doesn't come at a cost to you. It just means that the company that is linked will pay me just, and I'm talking pennies. It's not even a lot. It's pennies, literally. So by all means, please do use the link, as it's a way to support my channel and I can purchase other fragrances and do reviews and stuff like that. But yeah, whew, I can rest now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to follow me on socials, and don't forget to watch the individual perfume reviews of the ones that I do have a review out there of. And yeah, I will catch you in a future video. Thank you so much for watching, and bye bye.